Good morning, Reman you listeners. This is Lawrence Loshak, aka Super Reman. Last week, my partner in crime, Captain Reman, shared a problem one of our customers wrote in and asked our opinion. So this week, I'd like to branch off of that and explain how to sell value rather than price. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share a couple of tips we practice every day at our successful repair facilities and how we separate ourselves from the price war. First and foremost, you need to look at a sale as more than just adding money to the cash register. Every job you take in is great for the business, don't get me wrong. But retain that customer for years to come, it's a success. So every sale, you must realize your objective is not only to hook the sale, but better yet, to start a long-term relationship. See, because remember, every car owner either has a spouse, maybe a son, a daughter, a relative with a car problem. See, today you have the opportunity to fix the car they brought in. But our main objective is to make sure that customer thinks of you first when the other car in the household needs attention. In addition, these types of happy and loyal customers are going to give you the best advertising that you can't buy. A referral. And these types of happy and loyal customers are the ones you need to get video testimonials from, raving about your service and the experience they had at your shop. Okay, Lawrence, we get it, heard it before, been in business for 30 years. Now how do we do that? Well, I'm going to now share a few winning examples. Actually, I'll start with the meaty one, a sure winner. On every transmission or engine replacement, or even a brake or muffler job, actually any repair, okay, we always present to the customer that a complete undercar safety inspection is included, free of charge. It's further explained that usually any suggested repairs are free in terms of labor, and they have the option to decline anything and everything suggested. So, it goes something like this. Mr. Smith, the price to replace your transmission is $2,000. But this includes a complete replacement of your transmission with a nationwide warranty-backed, better-than-new transmission that includes a complete cooler line and transmission cooler flush and cleaning, a torque converter, and our specialized complete undercar safety inspection. It's all added for your convenience. See, safety is a good word, and you're not lying. It's unsafe to be stranded on the side of the road, and it's definitely inconvenient to have to return to a shop for additional repairs. And continue with, our complete undercar safety inspection is a timely procedure, and what we do is take a close look at everything on your car, including scanning your vehicle for any hidden codes. Then our technicians are instructed to inform us of any parts that need immediate attention and those type of parts that will require service in the near future. And then, I promise I will give you a call, maybe you can stop by and we can take a look at those parts together. But see, the big surprise here, Mr. Smith, is that the labor to replace any of these additional parts will be included in your service at no additional charge for labor. You pay for the part, we'll pay for the labor. This is something we've been including for years as a free service, and everything and anything can be declined. There are no hidden charges. It's just a free service we include with all of our jobs. Lawrence, you're nuts, is probably what you're thinking. Or some of you might be somewhat convinced. Okay, now, I've explained how you should deliver the message, okay? Now let me explain how this actually adds money to your bottom line. And actually, you're not giving anything away. See, when you have to do a transmission job, for example, this situation, let's pick a front-wheel drive transmission. The removal of the transmission includes removal of the axles. To remove the axles, you have to disassemble some of the brakes. You also obviously have to undo the transmission mounts to drop the transmission, the subframe bushings. The exhaust has to come off. I mean, just in the exhaust, you have exhaust hangers, you have the muffler, you have the mid-pipe, you have the flex pipe. I mean, let's go further. You had to take the tires off, right? How are those tires? I'm sure you can set up a wholesale account with a local tire shop and just drop off the wheels and get the tires mounted for the customer. Some of you may even have a tire machine. Use it. Check the suspension, the tie rods, the ball joints, the shocks. Check the hoses, the belts, the battery. Scan the car. Check the light bulbs in the headlights. Check it all. Now, remember to explain to your tech that you need 2 parts lists, okay? The parts that need replacement and the parts that are okay now and are marginal. It's really important you have a list of some of these marginal parts. For example, you would say this: we checked your brakes as part of the complete safety inspection, and although your brake pads are a bit worn, I think you can get at least another season out of them, so they're okay. See, the reason it's so important to include this in your upsell is you're doing 2 things, okay? First, you're showing the customer you're not trying to leech everything out of them. You're not trying to just accomplish the upsell. You're actually trying to help the customer. See, you need to pretend that this customer is a really good friend of yours and you're trying to save him or her some money. Second, you're establishing a relationship, and most importantly, honesty and credibility for your shop. Okay, I'm sure I got a lot of you thinking, or at least nodding your heads in agreement. Now, I'll explain why this makes business sense, dollar sense, okay? When you quote a job, you look at the labor, right? That's what you can put on the invoice, on the estimate. That's what you charge for the work. You can't charge for the time it takes for your technician to push the car inside and rack the car, clean the snow off. I mean, this adds up. This time adds up. What I'm trying to say is, the car's already on the rack. This time has been spent. Make the most out of it. And when you achieve a successful upsell of a couple of mounts, an axle, a serpentine belt, well, remember that these parts are usually 100% profit when purchased from your local parts store. I mean, how many transmission jobs do you do per week? 3? 5? How about $200 upsell on those 5 jobs per week? That's $4,000 of pure profit added to your bottom line at the end of the month. And trust me, when a customer drives off the lot, the stereo is off, and they're listening to their cars like they've never listened to them before. Don't let a simple clicking axle or a leaky exhaust spoil their experience and all the hard work that you put into the job. Another simple and must-do tip: don't you have a hose and a bucket? Wash the car. Or better yet, take it through a car wash on your final test drive. Wipe the dash down and the interior down with an Armor All wipe. It takes 2 seconds. Clean the inside of the windshield. For some, vacuum the driver and the passenger side footwell out. Don't worry about the back seats. This also gives you a last-minute opportunity to check the inside of the car and remove any greasy hand and footprints your tech might have left behind. And to finish it off, install one of those simple clip-in vent fresheners and set the heat controls to vent and select the low fan setting. So when the customer first gets into his or her car, they're blown away from the extra mile, the extra special service you provided. The last thing a customer wants to do after giving you a lot of their hard-earned money is to get back in their same old car, their dirty car. Trust me, the detailing is worth $1,000,000. Another thing we do is give our customer at least 2 free oil changes. We then also send out a postcard, first for thanking them for choosing us, and then another postcard when it's time for that oil change. Why? Well, first, you're embedding your shop's name into their minds. Second, I guarantee you, when it comes time for that oil change, most of those suggested marginal parts, they'll set up time to get those replaced. And yes, during that oil change, perform another inspection. Air up the tires, clean the windshield, and clip in another air freshener. And remember to always go get the car for your customer and drive it up to the front door when they come to pick it up. It's really important, it's really courteous, because the last thing you want is your customer to go try starting their car after they paid you $2,500 only find a dead battery. By the way, make sure there's a dedicated spot for a jumper pack in your shop and you know where it is. You see, there are many places that fix cars. There are many places that can undercut your price. What you need to ask yourself is, do you provide a better service or value than they do? Are you sure you're doing everything you can to separate your shop from the rest? Because let me tell you one thing, the dealership around the corner is. These are just a couple of tips we practice at our full car care centers every single day. If you have a story on how this helped you, or any other tip like these that can help our other shop owners and listeners increase their value, write me an email at loshak@etereman.com and I'll share it with all of our listeners and send you a Reman U t-shirt. Until then, sell like hell.